Ever notice how Blizzard never says anything unless something big is coming? And now they specifically mentioned Diablo II Resurrected. With dev news dropping on the 11th of the 2nd, 2026, I'm entitled to expect something big. Should our hopium meter be at max? Hello YouTube, Liquid Dream here with another episode of my Holy Grail journey. I usually don't get too excited about announcements like that, but this time it feels a bit different. My bold prediction is that we're going to get some extra stash tabs, the Chinese exclusives piece, potentially some rework, and maybe, just maybe, Blizzard will pass the game on to another developer that will keep our favorite game ticking for years to come. I mean, there are so many mods out there doing really cool stuff with D2R. Why not just employ them and under their supervision release something new every season? This way the game would live for years to come and many people like you and me would be playing it daily. What is your take on all of this? Sound off in the comments. Wow, that was a bit of a rant. But you know what? Enough of that and let's get into it. Back down into Tel'Rash's chamber we go. Terrorize Duriel again, and honestly, at this point it feels like the giant bug just refuses to chill. The runs are fast, the kills are clean, and suddenly the loot explosion hits the ground harder than expected. First drop? A low level bow that absolutely slaps early game, firing explosive arrows and carrying new characters through normal like a breeze. And then, another drop, right behind it, one of those helms you don't see often, packed with some skills, strength and life leech. It is none other than Demon Horde's Edge. Duriel keeps delivering, but this one isn't a grailer. Still, you don't complain when you see it hit the floor. Ethereal looking, massive damage potential, and this one rolled with 3 open sockets, making it instantly usable. Even when it's a duplicate, it's still a welcome sight. That drop was a 3 open socket Tomb Reaver. Nice. At this point, Duriel is absolutely busted, may I say. Another kill, another moment where you think, no way he does it again. And then, there it is. One of the most iconic defensive items in the entire game. Massive damage reduction, solid block chains, and still a staple on hardcore and melee builds to this day. This one instantly locks in as a Grail checkmark. That shield was obviously Storm Shield. Ooh. Yeah. Wooshka. 414. This terrorized hour felt like never end, and I mean that in the best possible way. Duriel's mood stayed generous and he dropped something I honestly don't see very often at all. Fast attack speed, fire skills, and a fun, flashy option for fire-based martial art builds that don't get enough love, I think. That rare sight was Fire Lizard's talent. I'm officially loving the giant bug again. Yet another Grail item hits the ground. This one aimed squarely at survivability. High defense, damage reduction, and some sneaky utility stats that make it far better than people give it credit for. A solid armor that absolutely earns its place in the Grail list. That drop was none other than the Gladiator's Bane. Look at them stats. Yeah, that's it. Switching it up, Barbarian jumps and finally finds his groove. Here we're fighting Shenk and the mob drops a Grand Charm. Let's fast forward this until we kill Shenk and the others. Well, extra skill like this are pure fuel for the builds. And this one goes to shine once the character comes together. That find was a +1 to martial arts assassin. I think I might have to build one now, hey? Here we go. Oh yeah, look at that. Delicious. Barbarians finally paying up. Caught up in the tail end of the Terror Zone, squeezed in few Mephisto runs and absolutely did not disappoint. One of the most commonly used helms in the entire game drops, and it's still S tier decades later. Throw in a socket, load in perfect topazes or ist runes, and you get an instant magic find perfection. That iconic helm was the Harlequin crest. commonly referred as Shaco. Last run for the day, Mephisto again, and I absolutely hate those mages on the side or at the back of that room. They always spoil the party, and then you have to go and fight them and do stuff, and they kill the mercs sometimes, and you're still poisoned, and then you might as well open that chest because you never know. And here we are doing things that we do. But anyway, this one honestly feels like it's a little bit scripted. An amulet that practically screams paladin, and it's none other than here we go, High Lord's Wrath. I think it's made for Uber Mephisto. Well, all too soon that brings us to the end of another video. Duriel absolutely popped off, Mephisto came through clutch, and Barb finally pulled his weight with a huge charm pickup. I genuinely am excited about the news that devs released coming our way. Even if it's something small like extra stash tabs or rune word tweaks, considering this game's longevity, I'd love to see some more meaningful though. Either way, only time will tell. If you enjoyed the episode, hit that like button and drop a comment with your predictions for the 11th. And subscribe so you don't miss the next chapter of my Holy Grail journey. Until next time, peace out YouTube, and may Lady Luck be on your side.